Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy Network. Y'all know how I am about music. I basically, do y'all like old school music? Okay. And when I say old doesn't mean vintage. The old doesn't mean decrepit. We're talking about good music. We're talking about vintage. We're talking about great stuff. Stuff that you play then, you can still play now. And when you hear it, you're like, yes. I mean, it just does something for my soul. So I said, you know what? Let me reach out because there's some beautiful group of women that I loved. It was a girls group called the Jones Girls, right? And for those of y'all, in case y'all like, wait a minute, I think I know who that is. And I don't want y'all to age yourself because some of y'all women don't want to tell your age or you don't want to age yourself with music. So we're talking about who can I run to? Okay, let me tell y'all something. It ain't a skate, okay? It's this lady right here, okay? The Jones girls. This is Miss Shirley Jones. So we're talking about also a dance turned into romance, nights over Egypt. You gonna make me love somebody. Look, that's a song where I thought I was Whitney Houston, okay? Because you can't tell me nothing when that song come out. If you really want to hear what vocals should be, you gotta listen to that song. You gotta listen to that song. So let me hype down because y'all know how I can be. The Women Are Worthy Network. We are so honored. We are so pleased to have this beautiful queen. Hello, Miss Shirley Jones. How are you?
I am just fine. How are you? Happy New Year.
Thank you. Well, I don't even know why I asked you, how you're doing because you look fine, so I know you're fine. And I'm talking about fine. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. First of all, let me give you your roses. My father got me when I was a kid, he would play Motown. I didn't have a mom, so to keep me occupied with my bottle, he would play Motown music. And so I love music. Frank Sinatra, all that kind of stuff he would play. Of course, Frank wasn't with Motown. Frankie Valley, because I grew up in Brooklyn, right?
Okay.
Frankie Valley and all that. So doo-wops. And then I was listening one day and I'm like, so I have the appreciation of music. I mean, I can go on a music show and I think I could win. I definitely could win
Oh, yeah.
Jeopardy.
Name that tune. Yeah.
Yes, remember name that too? Yes, I can name it in 2 bars or 2 notes or whatever. I want to say thank you for allowing me to hear your music. You and your sisters put beautiful music out there, and I want to thank you, Queen. You're still doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to Gamble and Huff and the Philly writers and producers that wrote that beautiful music. We wrote some songs, but a lot of that music was Gamble and Huff and the Sound of Philadelphia. Dexter Wanzel, Cynthia Biggs. I have to give kudos to those fabulous producers and arrangers that wrote and produced that beautiful music for us.
Okay, so we're gonna wind back the hand of time. Okay,
Okay.
how did you and your sisters, how did this come about? How did you know? Let's start with how did you know you could sing? You know, you can't sing, you can sign. Okay, how did this come about?
It came about through my mom, who was a very popular gospel singer in Detroit. And you talking about sang, she could sing. Mary Frazier Jones. In fact, she has two records out on YouTube. Put a Little Love in Your Heart by Mary Frazier Jones and I Feel Good. Those are all on YouTube and Spotify. Um, she was very popular in the gospel circuit. We were in that same circuit back in the day as kids, singing background for her. It was Mary Frazier Jones and the Jones sisters. This was we were about 9, 10, 11, because we were stair steps, and that's how we started with her in gospel,
Did you
traveling
ever
all
not
around.
want? Did you
Mhm.
ever not want to sing?
Never, never. From I can't remember a time when I did not want to sing, because singing to me, with the music, even though we left the gospel field to the secular field, our music to me, uh, is music that uplifts, that enlightens, and I just say simply spread love. And it's music that makes people smile. And that to me is what I intend to do the rest of my life. Use this voice that God blessed me with to simply make people smile, feel good, feel uplifted. So
You know,
that's why I
I'm
enjoy
glad you said that, Miss. I'm glad you said that, Miss Jones, because when I think of music, it's memories for me. I can remember where I was, when the music is really good,
yes.
because I remember the roller skating rink, with some of
Right.
your music. So it brings pleasant memories. And I'm going to be honest, because of what's going on with COVID, I choose to go back in time, listen to XM radio, listen to music, good old music. I'm not out here disrespecting the music that's out here now, but for me and mine, we prefer music that we grew up on, and music, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and a lot of people, because we've gotten a resurgence, excuse me, of old fans and new fans through DJs like DJ Nice, who plays during the pandemic. I mean, he uplifted and played so much, and still now so much old school, that lush instrumentation with the vocals of so many old school artists. And it's the young people are that through the pandemic, listening to DJs like DJ Nice and DJ Cassidy, they have been Googling, and I've gotten more fans and followers these past 2 years than I had gotten previous before the pandemic. So I'm blessed in that regard.
And I'm so glad, because I want the respect to come back to the and I don't like using oldies. I want the respect go back to the people who can sing, who was singing back then. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yes,
want to drive them. Because again, when you talk to the younger generation and you say certain music, they don't know who originated. They know who is doing the remakes, but they don't know. And that's one thing, because I know growing up, I know who sang the song. I used to know the year. I used to know the lead. I used to know all of that. And
that's
right now,
that's
it's
because
not done that way.
well,
Mhm.
that's because it was albums back then, where
Yes.
you could read who was doing what, who was playing what instrument. Now it's streaming. Everything is streamed. And that's the one thing I miss with music, are those albums, the album covers. I mean, we spent thousands of dollars on those beautiful album covers. And then on the inside jacket, it always listed every instrument, the strings, who was playing the strings, the horns, who, like you say, who was doing the lead. And so that's the difference now. Where they should, somebody should come up with an app that puts all that onto the streaming, so that these can get educated while you're listening to music.
And then let's not forget the best part was you get to see the words of the songs. Okay,
Exactly.
so I missed that. I missed that. I have to listen
Exactly.
to a song over and over again to know the words. But back then, off the wall or whatever I bought, I'm like, yes, I knew the words.
Right.
So my question is, because for me, I would love to see, a whole movement with, for example, yourself, Stephanie Mills, all the great singers. I was actually researching someone, because I'm trying to find her, and I know she's older. I had this love for Lola Falana. She was the whole casino thing in Vegas,
Oh
but
yeah.
I want to bring people out there. She was like the female, whether we know it or not, part of the Rat Pack.
Right.
I want to bring people like that out there. So my question to you right now is, hello Phelps Productions, how you doing? I got the Queen on. I got the Queen.
That's my
Um,
nephew,
that's
PJ.
your nephew. Hi,
Mhm.
nephew. I'm
Yes.
here to tell you, you are so lucky to have this woman in your family. But you know what? I adopted her, so she's related to me right now. Okay, right now she's related to me. So my question to you is, how did you and your sisters decide to form the Jones Girls?
Well, we were singing background with my mother, and
Mm-hmm.
we were approached by this couple, Jewish couple in Detroit that had started a label, and they asked my mother. I was 12. Uh, if we could record a secular song, and of course, it took a lot of our having our girlfriends and relatives talk her into it, which she finally did. And we put out a record, Learn How to Love, on that label. From there, McKinley Jackson, who is one of the producer arrangers for Motown, and then he went on to, and to this day still does things with Holland Dozier Holland. He heard us, and Holland Dozier Holland had just left Motown and started their own label, Music Merchant. So we went from the GM records over to Holland Dozier Holland. And we were still the Jones sisters at that point. We actually did not become the Jones girls until years later when we signed with Gamble and Huff. Prior to that, even our years with Diana Ross, we were the Jones sisters.
Tell us about those. Come on now, you done dropped some gems here.
Yeah.
Tell us about those years with Diana Ross.
Well, Diana Ross, we had, after we left Music Merchant, we went to Curtom Records. And from Curtom Records, Holland Dozier Holland moved out to California. And they were flying us out at least once a month or every couple of months to do background work for them. And finally, once Valerie graduated from high school, I was already in college and Brenda was in college. We moved to California, and one day we became the premier background singers at that time for everybody. Everybody wanted our sound. Um, Thanks to Holland Dozier Holland for asking us to do their background, from Dionne Warwick, Lou Rawls,
Mm.
uh, Aretha Franklin, Norman Connors, the Isley Brothers, the Gap Band. We did backgrounds for absolutely everybody. And one day, McKinley came to us in between sessions, and he said, Diana Ross is looking for some singers, and they say she's been turning everybody down. Would you guys like to try?" And we're like, "Oh, Diana, absolutely," because we grew up idolizing the Supremes. I mean, anytime we could see them on television on the Ed Sullivan Show, we'd gather around the TV and beg my mom to try to make us some costumes like the costumes that we saw on the Supremes. So we said, "Yeah, we'll try," not thinking, and plus we said, well, she's a home girl. She's from Detroit. We're from Detroit. So she might let us slide on through there. So little did we know, we thought we were auditioning for her road manager and her music director at her road manager's house, way up Laurel Canyon in the hills of California. We did not know that while while we were singing "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" and "Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand," that Diana Ross herself was in the back room of the house and came out, and she had been listening to us, and the words that she said were, "You guys are terrific. Can you get passports? We're going to London." And that was how we were with Diana, got with her.
What was your musically for you? What is your greatest accomplishment? I know you have more coming, but at this day and age, back to back then, what was your one most single greatest accomplishment in music?
In music for me, it's two songs actually. With my sisters, it's probably Nights Over Egypt,
Mhm.
and for myself as a solo artist, it's my record, Do You Get Enough Love? Those to me are the greatest accomplishments with for me with my sisters.
You have a lot of wisdom, so I want to ask this question: why do you think girls group nowadays are not it's not working. Men group, yeah, but what do you think is the ingredient why they're not working? Why they split up after her hit record?
Well, it's just not these girl groups today. It was the girl groups, back in the day too, because uh, women generally start out, on the same page and everything, and then all of a sudden, uh, men come into the picture, and people want to get married and have families, and then that affects, one situation or another. So uh, that's what generally happens with females, wherein men, they go through the same thing, but it doesn't affect them, because they keep it moving. But women, especially once you become a mother, you have choices, decisions that you have to make as far as, raising your child or being out there on that road constantly, because the road is rough. Trust me, I've been out there and it's rough. I even took a break with when my record was number one. When my son was born in 1988, I took a break for about at least 7, 8 years, only because I did not want to have him out there, on the road. I wanted him to have a solid upbringing. So that's, it's the choices. Women have more difficult choices to make than men in groups.
Well, I know they say black don't crack. I normally say good black don't crack. Miss Shirley, what are you doing with your what? Nuh-uh. Why do you look like this? Okay, what are you doing?
I'm, actually, pretty much all my life, I work out, and even today, um, I'm on the treadmill 3 to 4 times a week. I do weight training, and just enjoy life. I wake up every morning thanking God for 60 plus years of living on this earth. And
Wait. Stop. Don't gloss over that. Don't
yeah,
gloss over that. Don't play with me.
yeah,
Did you say 60 something years? Is that what you
60
said?
plus, 60 plus years. Yes. Yeah.
I tell you that melanin, honey, that
That's what
melanin.
people tell me all the time. Yeah, and I love
Yes.
it. We black don't crack. We just, and I take care of myself. I regularly get massages and facials and all that good stuff, and always have. And I just feel young. I guess my son, he's 30, just turned 33. That generation, and I have two other kids. One's 29 and one's 26. They keep me young, because they keep me aware of everything that's going on. And I even dress. Do you think this is too old? They always, no, that you look fly. So I pick up that little lingo and the way they dress, and kind of fit it into the way I like things to be.
What do you do for you mentioned you like getting massages. Are you
Hmm.
making sure that you're taking time not just for self-care physically, but what are you doing mentally? Because
Every
of COVID, what's happening, people are
every
passing. What are you doing?
every morning I'm in there in my it's a reading and relaxation room upstairs in my house, where I have my incense, my Bible and my studies. And every morning, as soon as I roll out of bed, I'm meditating and getting myself through, first of all, through thanksgiving and prayer. I set my day, and that's each and every day.
How are you preserving that voice? Because I got a chance to hear it recently, and I'm not gonna tell you how, because I'm gonna have to can't tell you. How are you maintaining your voice when other people are not maintaining their voice? Hello, Kadon 777. How you doing? Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Don't she look fly? Oh my God.
Thank
Jeez.
you.
Yeah, but how are you preserving your voice?
When I'm on the treadmill, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm actually vocalizing on the treadmill. I'm on my treadmill usually for about an hour. and I'm vocalizing as I'm walking or jogging, um, to make sure, I can still hit those high notes and I still have a vocal coach
Mm.
whenever that prepares me with vocal lessons right before I get ready to do a major tour. But these 2 years that when we really haven't been touring, I keep up by doing vocalizing on the treadmill, vocalizing like everybody in the shower, singing and screaming and, to the top of my lungs and singing songs just to make sure that when the time comes, which it starts back for me April 1st, I'm ready. I'm ready to spread
Well,
that love again.
I got an issue with you, and I'm gonna tell you what my issue is with you, and it's all love. Because of you, I'm singing. I'm singing in the bathroom. I'm singing everywhere, right? So I go to Dave and Buster, right? So
Mhm.
Dave and Buster is a place where you can play games, you can,
Right.
do a lot of things, right? So for those who don't know what Dave and Buster is. So I go there and they had a karaoke night. It was on Fridays, right? So I'm like, yes, I got this because whenever I sing, I want backup because I'm the lead, okay? I'm the lead. So I went by myself. I didn't know anyone. So I go and I'm singing and I'm moving to the beat. You can't tell me nothing. I'm reading the words. After I finish singing, I hear booing. Okay.
Oh
Now
no.
this is karaoke because I think I'm you now. And I'm like, nah, they just jealous. I'm here to tell you because I'm gonna put it on blast. It got so bad, I was asked to leave.
Oh no.
Okay, I was asked to leave because somehow when you're singing in the shower, I don't know if it's because of the water or how it, bounce off the
Everybody sounds
wall. I
good.
sound beautiful, so I think I can take my act on the road. So I said, let me try going to Dave and Buster's first. So I go to Dave and Buster's, and I'm like, I think I'm something else, and I'm dancing, doing the shimmy and everything, doing the shimmy.
And they
And all of
booing.
a sudden, I hear a boo. I don't hear nobody clapping. I heard one person go boo. Then more people are booing. More people are booing. So I'm like, nah, they just jealous. Let me sing another song. I'm singing another song. The manager comes up. The acoustic. That's right. The manager comes up and says, "Ma'am." And I'm like, no. He was escorting me off the stage. But not only was he escorting me off the stage, he was escorting me out of the establishment
Oh
because
my.
apparently my voice, which I know sounds like a songbird, was irritating people's ears from what I'm hearing. So they didn't want me in there at all. Yeah, it was bad. I still think they were jealous. People would be doing karaoke on the stage and I'm in the audience singing with them. And they were like, even on my prayer line, when I try to sing, even my prayer line, they tell me stop singing. I mean,
Wow.
that's a lot of nerve. I'm singing for the Lord, and they tell me not to.
That's why it reminds me of that commercial that Shaq has where he's singing in the shower and then he gets out the shower. That's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I thank God every day for this voice that people when people tell me all the time, our harmonies and then our individual voices just make them smile, make them feel good. And that's my purpose in life is to do that, to use this God-given talent to make people smile, to make people feel uplifted and loved.
Right. So I know you love everyone, but right now, I want to ask two questions. What two singers are you listening to? It could be now or then that you have right now, either on your Spotify, your XM radio, or whatever it is that you're listening to. What singers or songstress are you listening to right now?
Oh, my girl, Mary J. Blige, absolutely. And Lettucey. I love Lettucey.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Oh my gosh, she is phenomenal. She
yes.
definitely is phenomenal. If you had it, other than Mary J. Blige, if someone were to call you tomorrow and say, hey, we saw you on the Women of Worthy Network, we got you, we love you. Just name an artist that you would like to collaborate. Two women and two men. Just give us the four names and we'll get it done.
Uh, the two women, probably Mary J. Blige
And you have to exclude those two and like
and,
exclude
and
her.
Lettucey, and the two men. Probably Johnny Gill, and the other one, I actually have a record coming out with him February 1st, and it is a killer, and that's the legend Lenny Williams himself. Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about the release. Let's talk. Come on, let's get into
Yes.
it because we want to buy. Listen, y'all. Listen
February
to me.
1st. It's called
February
Ain't
3rd. Listen to
Nobody.
me, y'all. Go. Don't just walk and get her single or her album or nowadays I keep saying album and the young folks are like it's not an album. It's not even CDs anymore. It's
Right.
not
It's
even
stream. Right.
streaming.
Go to
Make
Spotify
sure
and Apple. Right.
Please make sure you get it. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Again, this is Shirley Jones. When I'm talking about this lady can sing, she can sing. Okay, not sing, sing.
Yeah.
So, how did this come about? How did this come about with him?
Lenny had actually wrote and recorded this song from what he told me 15 years ago, and it was a hit for him. And he decided that he wanted to do a duet, and there were other people he was considering. And my name came out, and he said, "Oh yeah, Shirley might be perfect." And we're friends, and we have the same marketing and promotion team. Um, so we talked, and we've done some dates together over the years too. So he asked me, what I thought, and he sent me the song, and I absolutely loved the song. So I went in the studio and
See,
did my part, and I'm telling you, it is a killer. It comes out February 1st, called "Can't Nobody" by
this is
Lenny
not
Williams
fair.
and Shirley Jones.
No, I got no. This is not fair. You can't just drop this like this, and then we're like, oh my God, today's only the 19th. Come
Right.
on now. You can't leave a sisters and brothers and people who appreciate music like that. You can't be teasing us like that, Miss Jones.
I
That ain't right.
know. No, but hey, you know how quickly time goes by. The first will be here before you know it. It'll be here. And then it's gonna be all over the radio.
I'm chomping at the bits right now because I'm putting a note in my phone that 12:50, the 31st, 12:59. The minute that clock hit 12:59, January 31st.
Yes, you're gonna be hearing it all over the
Yes.
internet, all over radio, everywhere.
So you guys planning on touring or doing a mini tour or just doing local? That's what you guys are planning on
Yes,
doing?
yeah, I've already. I'm super. We're going to be doing two things together. I'm already booked starting April 1st. I'm doing the City Winery in DC, and then the City Winery in Philadelphia April 4th. Then I'm in LA at the Globe Theater uh, with Climax, and then I'm at Yoshi's in Oakland in May, and then June I'm in Greece, Corfu, for a week. Then August, I'm back in DC. September, I'm in Europe. And November, I just closed a deal where I'm back in Philadelphia, opening for the Whispers.
What about Atlanta? I don't hear anything about Atlanta.
Atlanta's coming. Dates are coming in. Things
Okay.
are just really opening back up. And
Right.
someone talked to me today about the City Winery here in Atlanta.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
I'll
mhm.
probably be doing that too because once you do one or two city wineries, you generally end up doing the
Get them
entire
all.
circuit, and it's about 8 or 9 of them, from what I understand.
So you're gonna be in Greece. So you are jet setting right now. You're gonna be
Oh
in
yeah.
Greece. You're gonna be. This is a question I really want to ask as well. Why is it in Europe they appreciate the musician more than we do in the United States? And I'm saying that respectfully.
Well, because when they listened to our music, if they knew it was coming from across the ocean, and those as kids, they studied those album covers and read and know everything. When you go over there, they know as much about the Jones girls as I do, and it's amazing. But when I talk to them and ask them, they said, "Man, we study. They study music over there.
Mhm.
They Google. I mean, well, before Googling, they would read those liner notes. They would, um, you know, Soul Train and watch us and watch and learn about the artist, the personal side of the artist, as well as the musical side."
I've noticed they do that, and also in Japan, because they're
Yeah,
so into our music. And I mean, it's almost like a phenomenon, when we have our artists, do that. Kadon said, when I come to Atlanta, yes, definitely. And she's in, like, again, she's going to be in DC, so you better make sure, not only just wait when she comes to the DC area, you need to get her new release, because we got to support this lady. Okay, we got to
yeah.
support our women and men who musical genius. Because I'm telling you, I think tonight when I go to bed, I think I'm gonna put you on XM radio, you and your sisters. And
Yeah,
and I wanted to say, I know it's long overdue, but I wanted to say my condolences.
yes.
And I want to thank you for still, and I'm going to be honest, I'm just I'm selfish. I'm glad that you're still continuing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm really glad that you're doing this.
I have to, because with the passing of my both of my sisters, and especially Brenda in 2017, it feels like it is my purpose and my job to keep people remembering those beautiful harmonies. And I have three terrific singers that I've trained that have been with me for almost 10 years now, that have that beautiful harmony of the Jones girls. So that frees me up to be able to replicate those sounds from the songs of my sisters and I. And I intend to do that until I just can't do it no more. So
You're gonna be here for 99 times 99 times 99. Um,
so I plan
it's
to.
just because you're spunky, you have this positive attitude. I love that you ooze confidence, honey. You don't lack no confidence. You
Well,
ooze
thank you.
confidence. What Miss Jones, what advice would you give an upcoming person who knows they have the voice? Because there's some people out there that during this day and age, they can sing, but they've not made it. You have others who are using the synthesizers or whatever it is on their voice, and because I guess
Auto
they're
tune. Yeah.
auto tune. That's the word. What advice would you give someone?
To practice. When you practice, that's how you develop your confidence. Yes, I am very confident because I rehearse all the time. Because I believe in as close to perfection with my shows and my songs as I can possibly get. Just ask my band members or my singers. Because that's what that's what people deserve. When I always say, and my sisters and I, we used to always say, if people can spend their hard-earned money and dress up, and tickets ain't cheap, to come see us perform. They want to see us perform. They want us to take them away from their problems. They want us to make them when they leave, feel better about themselves and feel enlightened and uplifted and want to get out there and do even more as far as spreading love and loving people. So I feel like audiences deserve that, and that is our job as an entertainer to give it to you.
What I remember growing up was the Temptations, everyone out of Motown.
Yeah,
Whenever there was a concert, y'all be sharp. You
yeah,
hear me? Sharp.
yeah.
Then attack. Even in the 70s, and as a younger kid, sharp. It was so important. Now it's just a t-shirt and jeans, but back then it was the hair, the makeup, the nails.
Yeah, at my show it's the same. It's you dress up to perform.
Thank
You
you.
want to
Thank
see
you.
people perform. You don't want them in coming in something that you would wear, yourself. You want the people have an image that they want to see, And I'm old school about that. My designers design really nice things for me according to the way I like uh, to look. And that's always classy and elegant. And that's what my sisters and I were known for. And that's what I will continue to do.
And thank
And
you for that.
besides, I love dressing up.
See?
I, that's the only time I really put on makeup is, when I'm performing, to dress up and have people, do your hair and your makeup, and then you have these fabulous costumes. That's the fun part for me.
And that because everyone out of Motown was like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, dressed up. And so I'm glad that you're doing that. You're bringing that back. So my question to you is, let's say tomorrow morning you get a phone call and it's from the Biden administration when it comes to music. And they call you and they say, you know what? We're going to bestow $5 million to your on your behalf. You can do whatever you want to do with it, because we know music is not in the schools like it used to be. What
Right.
would you do? What would you do with the philanthropy part of it? What would you do with some of the money?
For two things. One thing would be to set up various schools, like not well places to train vocalists and musicians, because a lot of schools now do not have music where they can learn how to play instruments anymore. And that's very important. Or vocalists, because I'm trained. My sisters and I. My mother was the choir director at our church for years, and she also knew voices. So my mother trained us, and then we also trained professionally with the Detroit Academy of Music. So I would open up various training schools to train musicians and vocalists. And then I would start a record label so that all these old school artists would have a place to come and record their music, and we put it out like Lenny and I'm telling you, this song, when it comes out February 1st, it's gonna change the game because we're two legends and we're old school, but we R&B is back as
I
of
got to
February
wait. I
1st.
got to wait till February 1st. You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna have to mute you whenever you say February 1st, because I can't wait till February 1st. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out. And you're right, because usually, like, if you hear the doo-wop people, they're on one side of town. Then you hear, the people from the 70s. And I remember what I used to love was, I didn't know at the time, but I know now, like Betty Wright, songs that she would sing. I didn't know they were all about sex or sexual stuff. It was innuendos, right?
Right, right.
Now
Now
it's
it's
like
in your
it's a
face.
oh, ooh,
It's in your face, and then that's not one of my favorite things that these young people are doing now, because there's so many other, with me being a lyricist, there's so many other ways to say things besides WAP and those types of songs. You can just it's just so too many other ways where you can still have some class about yourself.
exactly. And Kadon just said you're classy. Before you said that, that's what they said. So, what do you hope? Where would you like to be 3 years from now?
3 years from now, I'd like to be just traveling and singing. Hopefully, no COVID, because I enjoy that. One of the things that keep me going and keep me um, happy and youthful is traveling around the world, meeting other people, singing and performing. So 3 years from now, I intend to do the same thing I was doing before this pandemic that set us all down, and that is sing, sing, sing wherever I can to spread love.
What I'm hoping with this pandemic, a lot of bad things have happened and a lot of good things have happened. My wish is, due to the pandemic and people are slowing down, they're now appreciating good music.
Yes, yeah,
That's what my wish and my goal is. So now, I want people such as yourself to be booked for till, what are we, 2022, 2025.
Yes.
because we need that. We got to have a balance. We can't always just hear WAP and not hear the other side of the music. So we need to be
Right.
able, and older people, because I'm into both. I listen to everything, but I do miss it. I'm telling you, music such as your generation, your era, the 70s and 80s and things like that, and prior before, whenever I'm feeling like I feel like a depressive mood coming on or a dark cloud, all I need to do is just play music. You know what I'm saying? And it's music from then that brings me out of the funk. That's the word I'm looking for. Brings me out of the funk.
And that's because, and I give so much kudos to the musicians. It was live instruments back then.
Mhm.
It was not coming through a synthesizer or keyboard. Um, we would have some of those to accentuate, but the
Right.
strings and the horns, and that's why this record that we have out, we stopped it. The release date was actually supposed to have been Martin Luther King's birthday, but Lenny and I decided we wanted real horns on there, and so he took the time to send the horn people send the track here to Atlanta where they put real horns on. So that's what the delay is, but I believe in live instruments, and it could be, and I don't think the musicians from back in the day get enough credit because those cats they
Mhm.
made a lot of those songs playing those live instruments, and that's what I want more children to do. Pulling music out of the schools to learn how to play the keyboards. Like my nephew Phelps Beats, he and my son Jones Connection. They have a album out. Jones Connection spelled phonetically, where they have remakes of 6 of our Jones Girls songs, and they just did a remake of with sampled by my dear friend. I just hung up from her earlier, Jean Carn. Don't let it go to your head, and the lyrics that they put to that. I'm gonna make sure I send you that. Uh,
Please,
yes,
please.
the lyrics they put to that are just fantastic, and PJ's playing those keys. He studied music from the time he was 4 years old up till now. So he actually plays piano. We all do. I play piano. Instruments, people, I want as many young people to learn the beauty of playing an instrument as they do learning lyrics, the rap lyrics, because that'll take you further.
That's true. And you're talking, and I'm getting a lot of memories that's being downloaded to me. And I should have realized this then. When I was going to school, we had band, we had home ec,
Right?
I remember we had this, I don't remember what you call it, but like you make the clay and you put it in the kilt thing, and you bring these crazy ashtrays home to your
Oh
family.
yeah,
That
I
we
remember
had
that.
that in our school.
Yeah,
And I remember I
pottery,
tried to, huh?
pottery classes.
Potty. That's right. We have potty. Because my father at one point said, "Don't bring no more ashtrays." He's First of all, I don't smoke. Don't bring me no more
My mother
ashtrays.
too, right? Well,
Woo!
nobody smoked in our house, right? But that's the first thing you would learn in a pottery class.
Exactly. Making that. And then I remember I tried out. It just happened. I remember trying out for a solo part, and I didn't realize I didn't get it. They put me in chorus, and I didn't realize back then I didn't know how to sing. I thought the teacher was jealous too. So
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't thinking. So you just brought that memory, but it was so good knowing, because I remember people who were, because I didn't go to a art school, but every school in New York at that time, we had band, we had pottery, we had home ec and things like that. And we need to get that back into the school. It's so imperative to have these things back into the school, because one, you stayed out of trouble. Two, you weren't busy bullying other people, other than people making fun of your ashtray that looks like something else.
Right, like a spaceship or something from outer space. Yeah.
Every week. I remember my father's like, don't bring no more ashtray. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, don't make anything else. And then I switched and I went to home ec. So just listening to you just made me realize how good it was, because you would sew, you would do all those things you could. It was just amazing to me growing up. Back then, it was great, but now that you don't have it, we don't, we think about it. These poor kids don't have that. So I
They
like
don't.
that you said that you would put the money into the schools, create a school, and I vote for this. We got to figure out a way, especially in Atlanta, where I am right now, in Georgia. We need to have something, because I think we have a Rock and Hall, something Hall of Fame or something, a new thing that they opened up in Atlanta. We need to have something like that to bring the people from the 70s and 80s come down and actually, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to see you and Stephanie Mills on a bill together. Oh my
And
goodness.
we did shows together back in the day all the time. Us and Stephanie and Teddy Pendergrass. So we were all out there together, and I would love to. I mean, that girl, she's still hot, just as hot now as she was then, and I would love to. And hope, but probably we probably will be doing something together soon.
I'm pretty sure you will be, and she's true to this. She is not. She's reminding people how important the music was back then,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's critical now. Because you have people like Escape who sampled your song, and I mean, they did a good job. But again, how does it feel when someone reached out to say, "Hey, Escape or a group wants to sample your music"? How's that feel?
Well, I heard it, like everybody else. um, and over the years, the girls have, asked me what did I think of their song, and I told them, I loved their version.
Mhm.
It sold a couple of million copies. They did a great job, but with me being old school and there's to me of that's not just with our song, but with any song, there's nothing like the original.
I agree.
There's
I
nothing like.
agree. I agree. Because for me, the reason I agree with you is because when you hear it the first time, you can't go back to that first time.
Exactly.
You can't. And so, in that memory, so I can't go back to that first time. I can't even recreate that first time. So,
And
what can we do to support you? What can we do to give you your roses? Because when I say, baby, you need your roses, you're going to be getting your roses.
well,
What can we
hey,
do to support you? How can we, keep this going?
you can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls. My website is Shirley Jones Girl, no s.com. Download and stream my music, the Jones Girls. I have the last album is My Time to Shine. I have a tribute album that I'm releasing in March or April, dedicated to my sisters Brenda and Valerie, and it's called In Loving Memory. Get that when it comes out, and when you hear that I'm in a city near you, hey, come, because I'm telling you, when you leave that building, wherever I'm performing, you will be leaving uplifted, you will be leaving enlightened, you will be leaving loved, and you will be leaving with a big smile on your face.
And then I agree, but I'm just saying when I do come, and if I happen to sing a little loud, I'm not going to sing while you're singing. I don't need to see no po-po behind me. I promise I won't
I'll
oversing you,
make
but
sure they don't drag you out the building.
I don't know what it is with me. I'm like, I just think I can sing, and don't let Mary be singing, because I'm like, oh, she's singing to me, and I get
Oh yeah,
all loud. I get
that's
too
my
loud
girl there.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
are the truth, and it's just been a pleasure speaking with you. We're going to support every and anything that you're doing. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go to her website. It's www.shirleyjonesgirl.com. No
No.
S, just like I typed it in the chat. Shirley Jones. Make sure you hit her up on Instagram. I want her to have 100,000 followers on Instagram. I want her to have as many. I want you to go on YouTube, listen to her music. But more importantly, I need you guys to go out and support her live. And if
Yes.
you can support her live, let me tell you what I want y'all to do. Okay, you can't support her live. Make sure you go to her stream. Go and get her streaming. Don't bootleg it, because I know y'all. Don't
Right.
bootleg it. Go and get it, because I know how y'all folks can be. Y'all know what folks I'm talking about.
Yeah, and
Make
anybody.
sure, because
It,
if you guys do this, this will allow her to do more things, because we want to feed into her, because she's edifying me. So I'm going to do it. Okay. She edifying me. I'm not going to sing anymore, but I'm going to have to lay that microphone down. But she's edifying us. Think about, the memories. And if you didn't know her then, now you get to meet her. And I promise you, you're going to love her and her music. This is something too. You and maybe your mother, maybe your father, maybe your older sister, y'all can create memories with her music, because everybody know who she is in the group, But it's just been a pleasure, my queen. I
Same.
definitely want to hear your roses.
And for anybody in that Philadelphia, DC area, uh, get your tickets. I will be at the City Winery April 1st in DC and April 4th in Philadelphia. So those are the upcoming shows, and my website will have a list of all of the shows. They're coming in so fast that he's going to be posting them, yeah, at least once a month. So check me out. And I love everyone, and it's all about love. And with everything that we've all just been through for the past couple of years, let's try to show each other even more love.
Amen.
Yeah.
So just a few questions left, and then we'll end it. What song best describes your life?
Do you get enough love?
Hmm.
Because I do. I truly do. Yes.
When your life goes to be optioned for a movie, who would you like to play you?
Um, Actually, it's being some of those things are in their very early stages now.
Look at that. Look at that.
And
Okay.
I have two people in mind that I would like to play me. One is Ari Lennox, and the other one is Tika Sumpter.
Yes, Tika.
Yeah,
Yes. It's
yeah.
Tika. Yes. Um, why should women support each other? Why is that important?
Because we're sisters. We are mothers. We are cousins. We are the backbone of humanity. And that's why we should support each other and lift each other up, and not tear each other down or be jealous of each other, because everybody has a lane and everybody has a purpose in this life. And as women, that purpose is to nurture and to love not just the men and our children, but each other.
Wow, Kadan said that they have chills. She has chills. They have chills just listening to you. She said, and they said Tika is perfect. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Tika is perfect. Yeah,
Everybody says
yeah, definitely. She's a teenage version of you, definitely.
yes.
Because you're 21, so she's a teenage version
Yeah.
of you. So we want to make sure we remind everyone to please like, subscribe, support our channel. We'd love new subscribers, and also submit if you want to guest on the show. And our email address is with the womenareworthy@gmail.com. Women, EN, are worthy at gmail.com. Don't forget to social distance. Don't forget to sanitize. And don't forget to just spread love.
And
Spread
where's your
love.
man?
That's right. Spread
Yeah.
love, because we are worthy. You are worthy.
Yeah.
As Kanan said, 777 said, thank you for the music of their childhood.
Thank you.
How does
And
that feel when you hear things like that?
oh, it just makes my heart so, so happy. You just don't know. Because people tell me that all the time on Instagram, that we are part of the soundtrack of their young lives. And I'm so blessed and honored to have people tell me that. And I know
Mm.
my sisters are as well.
Yes, because they're beaming down on you and they telling you, keep up the good work. Keep getting
Yeah.
our name out there, sister. Keep doing it. I just want to thank you. And again, I'm going to reach out to Patty, because I'm like, I want to see y'all on the same bill too with Patty.
Girl, yeah.
Okay.
I
That's
love
what
it.
I'm saying. So
All
I want
right.
to thank everyone for tuning in. And Miss Shirley Jones, thank you again. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be on my platform. And I want to thank you for that. I'm so grateful to you and your son. Grateful to you guys.
Thank you. And I'm going to get that music over to you. And,
Please do.
and, what is it? January 31st, I'm sending you a MP3 of Can't Nobody. So
Ooh,
you
that
don't
would
have
be
to
my
wait till
birthday.
12:59.
Thank you. That'd be my birthday gift. You're giving me my birthday gift.
All
Yay!
right. Well, good.
No,
Happy early birthday. Take
no,
care.
no, my birthday was the third.
Oh,
So, but
okay.
still. All right.
Well,
Thank
happy
you,
belated
everyone.
birthday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone. Take
God
care.
bless. Bye bye.
God